Hi everybody, this is Shaurya Kumar and today we are going to discuss how to prepare for system roles that are usually uh, in HFT firms or prop trading firms or usually financial firms. What are they looking for in the candidates and how to prepare for these roles? First of all, we'll discuss the different kind of problems that they ask, different kind of topics that they ask. Then in depth, we will see exactly what subtopics in those topics are most important, what are usually asked because these topics are very vast. And then we will look at some resources through which you can prepare for these roles. Uh, right. So let's begin with the video. So first of all, any software interview, systems interview, whatever, they always check for your problem solving abilities. So so for that they usually ask you coding problems, DSA problems, and usually they are medium to hard level problems. So usually you need to practice problems for code forces of like CDE, Div 2. Then you can practice a lot from lead code, medium hard problems, and these are the level of problems they usually ask. They also ask easy problems, but these are also asked usually. Topics, the most asked topics are usually graphs, trees, and DP, dynamic programming. Then we move to the second topic, that's the core subjects. For the core subjects, you get operating systems, networks, architecture. A lot of questions asked on architecture, and DBMS is sometimes they ask, but not many firms focus on DBMS. DBMS is not that much focused. These three are more focused: OS, networks, and architecture. Okay, so then this is again third point. It's very important. It's also important for software interviews as well, for product-based companies. So there are a lot of subtopics in this. That is inheritance, polymorphism, oops, and of course advanced C++. Advanced C++ is something that is important for these firms. I mean, I think they should not ask that much advanced C++ because usually in college a fresher does not deal with such advanced topics in C++. But anyways, they are asking these. If you want to prepare, you can prepare them. So then these two things, especially for polymorphism is the virtual functions and how is virtual function table works, how it is implemented, and all those things. Then for advanced C++ concepts, there are lambda expressions, smart pointers, template metaprogramming, move semantics. Then, I mean, this one is basic, but usually people skip this, or are not very clear with this, that how to use const, static, inline keywords with functions, with variables, and like if you use multiple keywords, what is the effect of it? What is the effect of keywords on pointers, const pointer, pointer const, and all those things. Those things are pretty confusing as well. And then there is STL implementations as well. Sometimes they tend to ask, especially something like how a vector is implemented in STL to good a good amortized amortized time and stuff. So these are the things that are pretty you can read. I will share resources of how to prepare for these after this. Uh, so now, as I said, that for coding problem, I will come to resources, and so as I said, I will get into the depth of what topics in each segment. So for OOPS and advanced C++, these are the topics. For core CS, what are the most important topics? Uh, First of all, let's look at the OS and architecture stuff. So in OS you have the locks and semaphores. That means the synchronization part, and usually ask they might ask questions like to identify a concurrency bug in a code, or to uh, use concurrency bugs, right? Then there is page tables, again very very important concept for operating systems that they love to ask. Then in architecture there is caches, and caches like basic caches plus advanced caches like VIPT cache or VIVT cache, that might also be asked, but usually it depends from farm to farm. Some farms stick with the basics and some ask some really advanced stuff. Then pipelining is again very important, uh, how does pipeline works, the basic MIPS pipeline you should be very good with uh, it, and different kind of ideas like branch prediction, bypass paths, and uh, other things. Then process management is again one thing in OS that is kind of important, like what does fork does, how a process is spawned, what is exact different system calls, right? That part, process management, and this page table is the memory management part, and docs and so on for the synchronization part. Okay, great. I think networks. I mean, networks is uh, like usually protocols are most important, like especially IP stack and the TCP UDP stack. These are most asked things in networks, but other things can also be asked. So prepare network e- fully only. Just take a course on it. That would be a good idea. Now I will discuss the resources that you can use to prepare for these interviews. Uh, so these will be some resources. So for coding, I mean the best way to prepare is to regularly give code process contests. CSE's problem set is again a really nice resource that you should parallelly solve. And there are a lot of concepts that it covers, and usually even interviews tend to ask like direct questions from CSES as well. Then lead code, practice lead code, and you can parallelly practice. And if you are an ITK student, or even if you're non ITK student, there is this P Club archive, or there must be a similar variant of it at a college which you can use, which usually contains previous year asked problems. Then you have for C++, there are few resources that I use. These are resources that I use. There can be better resources, some other resources as well, but I found these pretty good. So there is a site called Learn CPP. You can find all of the resources at Learn CPP. Then there is book called Effective C++ by Scott Myers, which is again covers a lot of stuff, but again it's very lengthy and difficult to read each and everything, but still it's there. I tried to understand some stuff from it, which I was not able to get from websites and blogs. Then there is a C++ course from IIT KGP on NPTEL. You can check it. I do not. I will attach a link in the description for this course, and all these things: learn CPP, effective C++, CSES, lead code. Then comes the CS core part. So for computer networks, there is this book, and even slides are available for it. That's the computer networks top-down approach. So this is a really nice book, I think. My course also followed this book, and I have always studied from this book for networks, and it has been, I think it is sufficient. Then for architecture, there is this take any course or at a college or take any online course. There are a lot of online courses. You can look at the one by, like, if you want to do online, you can look at one by Onur Mutlu, and this professor is really good. I will attach a link to his course site as well. Then for OS, you can go to OSTEP. OSTEP is really nice. Uh, so right. So I think this is pretty much the basic resources that you need to follow for system role interviews, and you can prepare for it using this. And so if you want me to share some of my interview experiences uh, on system interviews, then you can comment in the comment section, and I will try to make a video around that. Thank you and have a nice day.